I should stop doing this because I don't actually know the date until I say it to you. So today is the 24th. 25%. Today's the 24th of January. How are you doing? Good to see you. Come on in. Welcome in, you guys. It's Friday. So 11 a.m. Central Standard Time every Monday through Friday. We go and we come here. We gather together. And we talk about insulin resistance because insulin resistance is 100%, in my opinion, turnaroundable. I have my own story, all the things. Stick around. I'll share pieces. But today, actually, what I wanted to talk about, this is kind of a fun one today, Friday, kind of a fun one. I wanted to do, why are you craving chocolate? What is happening when you are craving chocolate? Why is that happening? And give you like some really practical tips on it. You know, Valentine's Day is coming up. And remember like last fall, you guys, we were talking about how, you know, you hit Halloween and it's kind of like candy season all the way from Halloween to Easter. I mean, that's what my life was like. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that was my life. And I've also talked about how when I finally decided to deal with my own insulin resistance, which, you know, like just brick wall. That was me. I'm Italian. I didn't think I could trade out my foods. Like that was a really big, serious, for real conversation in my head. And because of that, I just kind of thought I would never trade anything out. But when I finally made that decision to do it, one of the first things that I did was I actually took a minute. I had a job. Hardly anybody was around. I was working at a front desk of a real estate company for a minute. And I literally sat there one day and I mean, I remember it like I could close my eyes. I remember I'm in Minnesota, by the way. My name is Kirsten Liebelt. I'm in Minnesota. And I remember sitting there thinking, okay, like seriously, do you just like all food? Is this really the issue? Good morning, Magda. Good morning. And I'm just like, that's not true. So I took a minute and I assessed, what is it that I really like? And I did it through the lens of, and you can laugh. That's okay. I can handle it. At church, in the basement, we always had potlucks. And people would bring the most amazing food. Like, come on. Really good food, right? Everybody has their dish that they want to bring. So I envisioned myself standing at the potluck and looking over all the food. Like you could just do this at a buffet in your head. And I asked myself the question, if I could eat anything that I wanted to right now, no rules, right? Because, you know, you're used to being given rules as a child. And then you're used to like teaching your kids rules, you know, you don't eat dessert first, blah, 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 finish your plate, be part of the clean plate club, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I was like, no, actually, I would eat the 7-layer bar first, for sure. Hey, you guys on TikTok, good to see you. Good to see you. Come on in. And so that was my answer. So sweet food for me is my connection to emotional whatever. That was a whole nother part of my assessment of myself. Give yourself permission to assess. Okay. So that's why, like now, even today, last night, what I did, if you look back on my post, now TikTok, you won't see this. I think I'm doing a reel for you guys today. Maybe I'll post it other places too. Good morning, Jan. Good to see you. You're here live for a change. I love that. I love that. So the last night, like I said, I'll make a reel on it, right? I made a reel on it. I'll post it. Those egg life wraps. So I took egg life wraps. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when I mention those? They look like flour tortillas, but they don't taste like flour tortillas and they do not have the texture. But I took a little bit of cream cheese, brown sugar swerve, cinnamon, and some unsweetened chocolate. I like the Great Value brand. That's a pro tip. And I just microwaved it a little bit and then I like spread it all out because it was all warm and gooey. And then you roll it up and eat it. Okay. So this is where my life has gone to, right? So when I talk about chocolate, it's like, Yes, I feel like we all think that maybe, I don't know, maybe as girls, we're thinking to ourselves, this is just something that we're conditioned to believe, or like Julie, Great Value brand, the Walmart brand of unsweetened chocolate. Because when you look on the package, it's actually chocolate liqueur. Crazy as though it may seem. And I just learned tricks like this, you guys. And so if you don't know, like because I brought my insulin down and began to make my liver function better, I've lost 3 sizes in my 50s. You have to understand that there is a connection between insulin, the hormone, and then we also talk about cortisol, belly fat, inability to lose weight, exhausted all the time, and cravings. Okay, so let's get into it. Chocolate. Here we go. It's very very interesting to me with how, I don't know, why do we turn everything into something that we're just going to be not nice to ourselves about? Why do we do that? I don't get it. It's just really quite ridiculous. So, when you crave chocolate, there are hidden signals from your body. There are reasons why you're craving it. It's not just willy-nilly. And so when people say to me, like when they start on the trio, the 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity, when they say to me, the food noise has calmed down, it's like, yes, because you're filling in nutritional deficiencies. And when you do that, your cravings get better. That's one reason. And then another good helper is protein, right? I have a free protein guide on my site for you guys. And it's just breaking it down so you can see that this is not mountainous. When people say over 100 grams of protein a day, don't think that this is the hardest thing you've ever done. It's not. So I put together a protein guide so you can see how easy it is. Okay. So if you've ever wondered why you can't stop craving chocolate here, this is what we're going to do. It's literally not just your sweet tooth. It's literally not just your willpower. That's not what this is. So, it is your body trying to tell you something. And let's talk about like emotional balance and stress relief. But the reason why is because chocolate actually contains, and I'm going to make sure I get this right, PEA, which are boosting endorphins to help balance your emotions and reduce stress. Let's see if I can find what does that stand for? Hold on. Let's see if I can find that. PEA. I don't know if they gave me an answer for it. They didn't. Hold on. So because it's actually helping your endorphins. What is PEA? And we all know what that feels like, right? I don't know. Come on. When I was really assessing myself when I was in my 50s, remember I came into my 50s, hot mess express, choo, right? Really bad. I was upside down, gaining fat in all the places on my body that I didn't want to gain, all of those things. But I started to really pay attention to the fact that when I would eat something that would spike my sugars, I would kind of feel warm and fuzzy inside. Those endorphins are for real. And you're kind of like, And of course, then you want to go back, right? That's just normal. This is not about you being a person who can't control your life. This is about your body responding for real. Okay. So let's see if it didn't come up. Well, let's see here. It's not telling me what it stands for. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Phenylethylamine. It is naturally occurring compound found in the body and certain foods like chocolate. It is sometimes referred to as the love chemical. Thank you, Kristen. Kristen's in the house. Thank you, Kristen. Phenylethylamine is a naturally occurring compound. It is the love chemical. Okay, let's do hearts on Instagram. There we go. It's the love chemical because it can elevate your mood, it can increase your energy, and it can promote feelings of well-being. Okay, so that's what it does. Boosts mood and energy. It supports emotional balance. It's naturally found in chocolate. It's associated with dopamine production. Okay, so like dark chocolate, certain cheeses like blue cheese, and fermented foods. That's interesting. I didn't know that. It's also available blah, blah, blah. Okay, high doses. Oh, don't take high doses of anything without contacting a doctor or something. Okay. We're not actually getting into that issue or to that conversation right now. So here we go. All right. So that's the PEA. Also, number 2, hormone balances. So you guys, when you have hormone imbalances and you're seeking balance, and I've been actually talking to a couple of you behind the scenes about, you know what, maybe we don't start with the trio. I mean, hear me now, okay? Sometimes we're going to battle other things first. This is why I so encourage you, like if you need to have somebody to bounce something off of so you can customize a cart, so you can understand the supplementation that you want to be putting in your body first to layer it, reach out to me. Do not hesitate, because these are questions you can't ask the GNC kid. It's just the reality, okay? But you can ask me, and maybe we back off. Maybe the trio isn't your starting point. It is a really, really, really great starting point for somebody who is insulin resistant. You are trying to go from insulin resistant to insulin sensitive. 3 little supplements with 3 little ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. Like, the testimonies are amazing. If you go to my site, kirstenliebelt.com, you'll see the testimonies. Take time to look at them. I put them all on a Google sheet. I had them put all on a Google sheet so that you could like scroll and read. Okay. But my point being that sometimes we need to come at things a little differently. So these hormonal imbalances, many women are craving chocolate during their menstrual cycle. Now I know a lot of us are we're menopause or postmenopause, right? But during their menstrual cycle, which is always common, right? Oh, I'm PMSing and I need my chocolate. We know this conversation, which may signal low progesterone. Isn't that interesting, right? Hormone imbalances might drive these cravings, and dark chocolate can help soothe it. But you know, we can do this differently than maybe what you've already been doing. If you're insulin resistant, you have to shift something. You got to tweak something in this dark chocolate conversation. So I'll help you with that. Low dopamine levels. The sugar in milk chocolate. Listen to this one, because I have always been a milk chocolate girl my entire life. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. My whole life, milk chocolate, milk chocolate. There's a reason. Sugar in milk chocolate, because it's a higher content, it's boosting your dopamine, which can make you crave sweeter options. Always me. Like, I never, ever, 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 ever understood the conversation. That's too rich. That's too sweet. I'd be like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean? I've never said that sentence in my life, right? That's why the craving for chocolate may actually be a need for more dopamine support. Boy, did I find that out when I was using, well, I still do. I talk about the purple packet all the time. Oh, it's underneath my iPad. I can't grab it right now. The purple packet, hold on. Do I have it in my garbage? Because I took it this morning. Oh, man. Nope, I don't see it. Must be in my other garbage. Purple packet has adaptogenic herbs and B vitamins, time released. So those adaptogenic herbs, you guys, God gave me that answer in my 40s. I needed to deal with my brain fog. I was in conversation yesterday with one of you about just like that inability to multitask makes you feel so vulnerable. That brain fog makes you feel so vulnerable. So sometimes we need to deal with that first, okay? So don't be confused. Don't allow yourself to stay confused. If you're wondering, that's interesting. I think I am going to ask her, where should I start with supplementation? Because maybe you can't fix everything at once, but maybe you can start somewhere. So those low dopamine levels for me, after I had my first baby, I'd been gestational diabetic, taking my blood 4 times a day. He was 9 pounds, 13 ounces. It was a really bad delivery. It was icky. And I lost my voice. And I swore I would never have any more children. It was icky. I lost a lot of blood. My hemoglobin was super duper low. I should not have been sent home from the hospital. Definitely their error. I was sent home with a Foley catheter. Do y'all know what that is? Where literally because I couldn't pee. My bladder had been so traumatized. So I go home and my mother recognizes this in me. My postpartum depression is off the charts, off the charts. And I go through all of this, blah, 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 blah. Now jump way far ahead to my 40s. And I hit perimenopause. And I'm like, I'm not super appreciating these feelings that are familiar to when I had my son Braden. Like, because that postpartum depression was intense. I'm like, I don't like that feeling. Well, it's hormonal. Now, at the first time, it really wasn't. I mean, it was, but it was coupled with the fact that I had lost a lot of blood. So it was both. But this time, I wasn't assessing myself very well. That's why I keep talking to you guys about assess yourself. And then when you do, and you talk to me about it, I get so excited. So maybe you've had me leave you a voice text before that is basically saying, I love the way you're assessing yourself. Way to go. Because it's the gift you give yourself. Because we already know the matrix isn't assessing you very well at all. Okay, back to the conversation. So when that showed up again, I needed to have support for my adrenals, which regulate my hormones, so that my dopamine could be higher up. My entire life, milk chocolate. How much sugar can I possibly eat? That was me right here. I needed that because of the dopamine for sure. I know this because then, like I said, when I started to assess my body, I would be like, ooh, that warm, fuzzy feeling that you get when you eat something that spikes your sugar. And then you want another hit. Okay, that's your dopamine conversation. And the last one is low magnesium levels. How many times can we talk about magnesium? How much can we talk about magnesium? I'm so freaking excited. And I know you guys, I'll try to not be super obnoxious. Okay. But I've waited for a really, really, really long time for my line to come out with a good magnesium. This is a terrific magnesium that's launching in March. I cannot wait to use it. I cannot wait to share it. I cannot wait to tell you guys all about it. Like when it launches, it's a big deal. So you can get on my VIP list and be the first to know. If you're not on there already, you can go to my website and just do one scroll. My website site is literally like one thing of buttons. Like just go to the bottom, put your name and your email in there. You'll be the first to know. It is a marine sourced magnesium. It has 3 different blends in it. I mean, this is going to really help with a lot of pieces to your puzzle. And you guys, just like I say, love your liver, love your liver, love your liver. Take magnesium, take magnesium, take magnesium. Know what is the most bioavailable for your body. Know when you should be taking it. Know why it's helping you so that you stay on track. If you can know why you're doing these things, if you can know why you're taking that purple packet, why you're taking the trio, why you're taking the gut primer, why you're using the thermogenic, the fat burner. If you know why, then you're like, you now have a reason behind your routine. You need a reason behind your routine so you can stay on course, because our default is to sabotage, is to fall back into the person who doesn't follow through, is to fall back into the person who doesn't choose discipline. You have zero idea. You see me show up Monday through Friday at 11 and you think, oh, she must be naturally disciplined. No, not even close. And so I allowed myself to, you know how when a snowball, okay, if you're not in Minnesota, maybe you don't like have a visual, but you've seen it in the movies at the very least, cartoons, whatever. When you have a snowball and you start to roll it and it picks up and it gets bigger and bigger as it rolls. Well, I spent decades allowing myself to spiral like that, to go into that mode. And that spiral felt comfortable to me. After a while, it became very familiar, right? And now that all of a sudden, you might even push discipline out of the way just so you can spiral and have that feeling. I know that sounds crazy. Does that sound crazy to you? It's just called self-sabotage, and we all do it. We all do it because we want to give ourselves permission sometimes to not perform, sometimes to not have to be accountable, sometimes to just kind of be mean to ourselves because that track is loud, noisy. Kristen, thank you, thank you, thank you. You are so amazing. I want to make sure that I am not overlooking loving on people here, and I might be. Kristen has been just liking this so much and giving me gifts and badges, and you're just amazing. Thank you. You guys jump in on TikTok if you're in from the balcony, or if you're on the balcony, jump in. And every day we're going live about, I just want to make sure, I feel like I went far enough now. And it's just all Kristen. It's Kristen the whole time. And tap the screen like Kristen's doing, because it gets the information out. It's really important, and share it. And it's the same thing on Facebook and Instagram, and, actually like the thing so that it can get flagged by the platform, or share it to a friend. Claudette's really good at sharing my information all the time. If you know somebody, because you're just literally trying to help somebody gain an understanding so they can turn back something that was never meant to be a terminal diagnosis to begin with. Had my dad not been given trash information and trash scripts and told the truth about how he could reverse his insulin resistance, somebody told me yesterday, okay, hold on, who is this? I don't think I'm going to remember who it is, and that's okay, because I probably wouldn't say her name anyway. She told me that her mother modeled to her back in the 80s when this was not popular. She was diagnosed with type 2 or pre-type 2. I think it was type 2. And in the 80s, against recommendation from a doctor, because, don't be doing that stuff, she basically went keto. She started eating meat and vegetables. And within 6 months, she turned things around for wherever she was in her journey. And she watched her mom do it. And so now she has that information for herself. How brilliant is that? That makes me so happy. So we can absolutely do that. But magnesium is really essential for like over 300 processes in your body. 300. Like, think about if you had 300 little wires attached to like little screws, like on a board of some sort. 300, like, well, even if you went 25 across, for 12 down, like 300 processes in your body. And if you undid every single wire, boom, 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 and you just undid them all because you just needed some magnesium, but you start taking magnesium and they all get lit up again. That's what happens. The chocolate cravings might be a signal of a deficiency. This is why when you fill in, you guys, every day, I know I'm a broken record. Every day, if you can understand filling in nutritional deficiencies, trace minerals, using herbs to get your body going again. This is the trio, the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. If you can understand this concept, you will stop being so dang hard on yourself, and you will actually go, you will have no emotion. When you take your car into the mechanic and the filter is dirty, do you yell at your car? You loser. Why couldn't you filter out longer? What's wrong with you? Like, you would never be uncut. That doesn't make sense. So it's the same thing with you. Just no emotion. Let's just fill in some nutritional deficiencies. Come on, let's get going. Come on. Simple conversation. Cellular. You would not take your vehicle into a mechanic and expect them to only inspect the paint. Is this the proper shade of red? I wonder if there should have been glitter when they painted this. No. You'd be like, will you open up the freaking hood and tell me what's going on with my engine? Because that clunk, clunk, clunk is not nice. And I'm kind of done with that. You would want cellular in your body. You want somebody like me to come across your life and go, you need to help yourselves. Because then you're like, vroom, you can actually like rev up your engine again. That's what we're talking about. Low magnesium is a huge, huge piece of that puzzle. And choosing, and then I'm going to fix this for you, high quality dark chocolate can help without adding excess sugar. So dark chocolate does have lower sugar than milk chocolate. We do know this, right? But I will tell you that when you're insulin resistant, if you are still eating dark chocolate and it's still spiking you just enough to keep on calling on that insulin, it's keeping you just frustrated enough. Because if you have high insulin, you can't lose fat. And if your liver is tired, it can't burn fat. So there are better options. Now, one of them is actually Bake Believe. If you guys know that brand, Bake Believe, better ingredients seemingly than Lily's. You can get those chocolate chips, dark chocolate chips. You can get a big freaking bag of those chocolate chips at Costco. It's the only sugar-free chocolate I think that I see at Costco. So in the baking aisle. So you can find things like that. I choose to get the unsweetened Great Value brand, which is literally a chocolate liqueur. I like shave it, like I chop it up fine on a cutting board, and then I add it to things. Sometimes I'll add it to homemade whipping cream, or sometimes I'll add it to, like I did last night when I was talking about when we got on here, a little bit of cream cheese, brown sugar, swerve, cinnamon, and like melt it into an egg life wrap and fold it over. So there are ways to do this without worrying about going down the path of, because I've had these conversations. I don't say this just out of my brain. I've had these conversations with the one thing that I can't seem to give up is my dark chocolate, but without understanding that you're constantly still spiking, you're not helping yourself. You're literally like, you're eating your dark chocolate and then shooting yourself in the foot, and you're wondering why you can't progress. And it's like, it's the same concept of you're going to eat keto treats, keto prepackaged treats or snacks, and it like just stops. Everything stalls. Everything stops. That's just frustrating. So you stick with dark chocolate. That is true. I really do like those options. And do you crave more chocolate when you are stressed out? Are you a chocolate craver? Is that something, I know that for me, I feel like that is a connection. Like if I'm feeling like anxious, and I don't mean like anxiety, I just mean like, maybe your schedule is getting busier or whatever, and you're definitely like maybe craving chocolate a little more. That might be why. So you can boost your endorphins though without chocolate. So you don't have to go the chocolate route. Here are a few things that you can do. So you can do, light exercise, get out and walk, do things that are very simple, right? Breathing, like really deep breaths can shift what's going on. You can listen to uplifting music or try laughter therapy to bring emotional balance. So maybe you find your favorite, like a comedian or something, and you listen to something that's funny. And the Bible says laughter is a good medicine, and it is 100% true, right? And then, of course, you can always use supplements. And the two that I have used and that I'd be more than happy to put together a cart for you, and I can send you the cart. Just let me know you want like reach out to me and tell me you want the herb cart, the adaptogenic herb cart. Adaptogenic herbs help your body. So noisy. They help your body adapt to stress. They come in and they support your adrenals. Your adrenals are sitting on top of your kidneys. And girls, listen up. Just really quick. Just listen up really quick. Your adrenals are your backup for your ovaries. So in the same way that you really, really, really need to love your liver so that you can actually lose fat, you really, really, really need to love your adrenals so that you can actually balance out what's going on, because your ovaries, they're kind of done with their job, right? But your adrenals aren't. And if you are just stressing your adrenals, it's why I put a cortisol cart on my site. You don't have to get everything in the cart, but I want it to spark conversation with me. Like then go back to the phone number where you can text me and go, I was looking at the cart and I'm trying to decide which pieces I actually need. Because again, if you're constantly stressing yourself out, you're shooting your adrenals. And you have to be kind. You have to be nice to your adrenals because they're trying to balance your hormones. Because God made it so you had a backup system for your ovaries. Okay? So there are things you can do, like rhodiola, ashwagandha. those types of things, those adaptogenic herbs, you know, the stress probiotic. My daughter says that when she takes the stress probiotic that I have, it's a pill. She said, I can feel it take the edge off, which is crazy because you don't think about that with a probiotic, but that's just the blend that they've created. It's very specific. Can you imagine just taking that edge off? Or taking a good magnesium, and I don't have one in my line right now, but I will in March. It's coming. But taking a really good bioavailable magnesium blend when you go to bed at night, and like we said, 300 or more pieces of your system need magnesium to function. So while you're sleeping, help your cells renew themselves, help your body have regeneration, help your body relax and go into a good sleep, preferably without any like weird aids. You know, if you're doing Benadryl, reach out to me. If you really want, like, in 2025, I want to get my sleep figured out. I've been on Benadryl. This is not me saying this because I have not done this, but if this is you, you're like, I'm relying on Tylenol PM. I'm relying on Benadryl. I'm now addicted to this process of whatever it is and fill in the blank. And you know it's not good for you, but you're almost like afraid to try to fix it. Reach out to me and tell me, will you journey with me a little bit on trying to fix my sleep? Because that is so important to you. You've got to get your cortisol down. You have to get your sleep fixed. It's really important. And it might take a couple things. It may take a couple trying of things. Okay? Because, man, the sleep piece, that is a journey. I'm just telling you, it is a real journey. And then support your progesterone levels. And this is how you can do this. So in the purple packet, I talk about how it has all your 8B vitamins time released. Well, it's saying eat foods that are rich in vitamin B6, salmon, eggs, to promote hormonal balance. I eat eggs like almost every day. Include healthy fats like avocado, coconut oil, and nuts to help with progesterone production. Track your cycle if you're still having a cycle, if you're perimenopause, right? Understand your cycle can help you anticipate hormonal shifts. Remember, we talk about how when we're like in our teens and we get our period and then we are like, we pay attention. We like actually assess our bodies. We're like, I know what day I'm on. I can tell by my bloating. I can tell that I'm craving. I can tell that blah, 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 PMS, blah, blah, blah. And then somewhere in the world, we just get so busy, we stop assessing ourselves. Well, when you hit menopause, that cycle doesn't stop. Your menstrual cycle stops, but the cycle of your body doesn't stop. I could feel it. I mean, this is actually what helped me the most to keep tweaking, because it wasn't because of cramps that I could tell things were going awry. It wasn't because I could literally still feel that monthly cycle of maybe you feel a little more depressed than usual. Maybe you're really short. I mean, I'll be 60. I can still feel that cycle, right? Because it doesn't end. But then you're able to be like, oh, wow, I tweaked. I started taking this adaptogenic herb before I went to bed at night. I started taking this adaptogenic herb at lunchtime. I started to really like hone in on my magnesium and whatever. And then you start noticing that those months are a little better, little better, little better. Okay, very nice. So you can be an assessor of yourself. Boost your dopamine naturally by eating tyrosine, foods that have tyrosine, which is a dopamine precursor. Almonds, eggs, salmon, lovely. Set small goals or do something rewarding to trigger natural dopamine release. I love this so much. When we talk about the 5-day, it's a free 5-day reset, insulin resistant weight loss reset in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. We do this every month. The next one starts on Monday, the 3rd, a week from Monday. 1 week from Monday. We're in February. And I'll go live for 5 days in a row. And this is like our 21st one. When we do that, I talk to you guys so much about how, listen, if you will just take in a couple of nuggets from every single reset that we do month after month, you literally can then take down that month. And when you can take down that month and have that success, have that victory in your life, then what happens is all of a sudden you are feeling like you can go a little bit longer. You can just tap on it a little longer. You can sustain a little longer. You'll do one more tweak. You'll add one more nugget. You'll change out one more ingredient. And those are those dopamine hits that can help you tremendously so that you can actually have success. This is an actual blueprint, right? So this is not willy-nilly. This is very blueprint-esque, where you have targeted supplementation very specifically for you. And then you have ingredient trade outs and resets every single month so that you can move forward and actually get, thank you so much, Anna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She's tapping my screen on TikTok so that you can actually get results over time. And you can feel like, I'm gaining a little more control. I'm gaining a little more control. I'm gaining a little more. Look at me. And by the end of this year, then where will you be? That's what I want to ask you. Like, that's so important. Now, magnesium-rich foods, if you're going to do leafy greens like spinach and kale, just make sure that they're organic. Nuts, seeds, dark chocolate, 70% or higher. I recommend Bake Believe dark chocolate or the unsweetened Great Value in the baking aisle, and then mix it with your own sweetener. Magnesium supplements, you definitely want a glycinate blend, but if you can get a glycinate blend, all the better. That's what I have launching in March. Trust me, you'll hear all about it. What else? Hydrate, obviously. Dehydration can mimic hunger or cravings, so drink plenty of water. Berries, handful of nuts, things like that. Oftentimes, if you have a sweet craving, the craziest thing is that if you'll just eat a piece of cheese and get yourself a good cheese, like purposely go and buy the cheese that you absolutely love. Like go to Costco, look at the imported cheeses, go to Aldi's, pick out a cheese that you really love. And if you will grab a piece of cheese, it can actually like shut down that sweet craving. And then of course, snack less, eat more high protein meals so that they last you longer, so that you aren't spiking insulin in between meals, and you'll feel stable and your cravings will begin to simmer down. Okay. And that is what I've got for you today on the chocolate. I think it's always so interesting because I feel like we really do just spend way too much time. If you have any questions, let me know. We spend too much time just kind of being hard on ourselves. And so I really want you to change that. And I know that when I talk to you guys about like doing this journey without shame, choosing without shame, that really does help you. So don't forget that. Don't forget that you have to be nice to yourself on this journey, okay? It's very important. And if you need any information about like the trio, I'm going to just show TikTok here. Oh, I did unplug. That's so funny. Let me just show you quickly. If you'll go to my site right there, which is kirstenliebelt.com, what you're going to see is you'll see a picture of me, right? Then you're going to see that first button says text me. Okay, so you can text me. Then underneath that is the Facebook community. You might not be able to see that. That's okay though. It's the Facebook community. Then under that is your free protein guide. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff on here, right? Free protein guide. Then the trio testimonials. Don't miss that. That's literally, when I click on that, it's literally, well, you're not gonna be able to read them, but it's Google Sheets filled with testimonies. Filled. Nope, it's not gonna move. That's okay. Filled, like it's like a lot. Don't miss that because that helps you to see other people. And then the trio is right there. You can find the trio, you can find the gut reset protocol, you can find the full system, you can find the cortisol care cart. There's even a little, I like this one, it has the little fire emoji on it, the fat burner. That's the one where Magda lost 3.5 inches. She just told me this 2 days ago. 3.5 inches from here, 2 inches from her waist, and 1 inch off of her hips in 90 days using this. And it tastes like orange candy. So don't ever hesitate to reach out. If you need a customized cart, if you need somebody to journey with you to try to figure out a few things, that's exactly what I do. So my messenger is open. You can go to kirstenliebelt.com. You can text me. You can get in my inbox on Instagram, TikTok. You can jump over if you want to. But I'd love to help you. So Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, we'll be right back here talking about insulin resistance. And then a week from Monday, we have our challenge coming up. 5-day insulin resistant reset so you can actually lose weight. You still have time. You have time to grab your supplements. If you have not reordered and you're like, oh, I've been procrastinating, get your order in. Get it in your hands before Monday. Don't self-sabotage. Monday the 3rd of February. And get yourself like feeling like you're prepared. Like, what does that feel like to be prepared? Isn't that nice? So, all right. You guys have such a great day. Happy Friday. And I'm trying to find there it is. I love weekends. Do something for yourself. I'm going to go do brunch with my girlfriends on Sunday and do something where you can decompress. Okay. And then be proud of yourself for the gains that you made this week. Be proud of yourself. Okay. All right. See you later.